Market conditions moving back to mildly bearish, having quite a bit of volatility here. Markets really getting quite skittish at these levels. We're seeing this upper trend here starting to reverse. We're at 26.58 on the overall rank of the market. So getting we've been up in that upper range now. Anything above 22 really is pretty extended, and we've seen momentum start to pull back now and into that hold range. Also seeing breadth. Breadth has been strengthening here, but starting to weaken now a little bit as well. And we're starting to see really sentiment still in that upper level. Not really seeing much panic in the selling, just seeing just lots of volatility here. We are seeing buy-sell ratio starting to weaken now, 1.25. So you can see those are starting to come back together again. So certainly getting overall weakness now, and that potentially could be accelerating here. Let's look at S&P 500. We saw a really weak day yesterday where we had this gap up above this area here in this 236 momentum zone, and all day long the markets just continued to slice back down through that. So support range still at that 536 range for S&P 500. We've now got a couple of price points right in that area where we could get a bounce. We've also some historical support over on this side of the chart location. That's S&P 500. So certainly showing a little bit of buying towards the end of the day, but some weakness there, and some weakness also showing in futures markets this morning. We're seeing the Dow. Here's the Dow pattern. Not too bad yet. It's just still in this counter trend consolidation location, but that's a pretty ugly sell-off bar yesterday. And also seeing that same thing in technology with the triple Qs getting pretty beat up here, as we're starting to see now resistance working, where we're running into these areas of resistance, and then they are continuing to roll the market back over to the downside. Not a really solid bullish action and structure for the market right now. TLT, we are seeing bonds continue to improve here, and that's really a big discussion point on interest rates and the Federal Reserve and inflation and everything that's happening there. So a rally in bonds means rates are coming down. That'll be interesting as the market is digesting a lot of this information currently. If we take a look at some of the sectors, we are seeing some strength in a few different sectors here. We saw utilities, which are actually working up 1.8% yesterday. Also saw healthcare, which is also continuing to work up 1.8%. So there are a couple of sectors that, some areas that are working. Keep an eye on those as you really want to fine tune and kind of zoom in on different areas of the economy or markets that are working. Watch some of those leading sectors as well. We're seeing commodities, gold, as yesterday back up into that buy zone and solidly in the momentum zone now with gold. Silver, not so much. Let's take a look here. We are back up above that support area, that 25.95 range, and so we could start to see some constructive bullishness back to the upside, some stair stepping, maybe a retest back to that 27 on silver. And if we look at USO had, which is oil, had a nice run yesterday or 2 days ago, and giving some of that back today. We'll see what kind of strength we get there in USO. As far as new buys, we've got HWKN had a really solid up move, 16% gap higher on increasing volume. A really nice smooth uptrending pattern there with a consolidation base and then a breakout of that, probably an earnings update there as well. Also seeing Carvana, which has been in this nice uptrend, pulled back a little bit deep. We had a trade on this, pulled back a little bit deep and some stop outs on that, but a nice confirmation move to the upside there on Carvana. And also seeing some additional gold names come in. You're seeing NGD, which is a gold stock. You're also seeing Alamos Gold, which is also had really big volume coming in yesterday. A little bit of a fade as it opened and traded lower, but keep an eye on some of these gold names as well that are starting to move back to that upside. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.